this activity we're going to be making raspberry buns. You may remember how to do it when you've been at Jenny's field, but if not, I'm going to go through it step by step. So first of all, we need the ingredients. You will need self-raising flour, 225 grams, caster sugar, 90 grams, 110 grams of butter, unsalted, 1 large egg, milk and jam. You can have any kind of jam. A raspberry is my favourite, but you can have strawberry if you like. You can even put peanut butter in them. You also need some equipment. You need a large bowl, you need your weighing scales, a baking tray. This one's non-stick. If yours isn't non-stick, then if you rub some butter on with a bit of kitchen paper, that'll make it non-stick, or you can use baking parchment. You need a spoon, a knife and a wooden spoon. Now, once you've got all your ingredients assembled, you need to put your oven on at 180 degrees. You may want to ask an adult to do this for you. So the next step is you put in your flour. Remember that was 125 grams into a bowl, and you put your butter in, which was 110 grams. I've already pre-prepared mine. And then you mix it together, and the way you mix butter and flour together is you squash the butter between your fingers, mixing it in with the flour, and you need to do this until it looks like breadcrumbs. That's what you should end up with once you put the butter in with the flour. Now you need to add your sugar in. Remember that was 90 grams of caster sugar, so I'll just give that a stir in. And I'm going to make a hole in the middle, and I'm going to put the egg in it. So if, like me, you've got some shelling, make sure you get that out before you finish cooking, otherwise it's going to be a crunchy raspberry bun. And you also need your milk, and it's 1 tablespoon of milk. This is a tablespoon of milk in there. And you want to mix it with your wooden spoon. And to know if it's the correct consistency, if you grab a bit of your dough and squash it together in your hand and it sticks together like that, then that's fine. And what you need to do now is to make lots of these little, well, between 9 and 11 of these little balls in your hand. So just squash it together in your hand and place it on the baking tray like that. The last of my mixture is a little bit dry and I can't make it into another ball, so I'm going to add a little bit more milk, just a tiny bit, just to hold it all together. And I'll be able to make, squash it together in your hands. This is a bit smaller than the rest of them, but never mind. So I've got 9 there, you might have done 11, mine are a little bit big I think. Now take your thumb and push it into the centre of each little ball to make a little dip like that. Next you need to get a teaspoon and get a little amount of jam on your spoon and pop it into the little hole that you've made in each of the raspberry buns. I'm going to continue doing this. But then when you've finished, you need to put them in the oven, and as they cook they'll get bigger and flatten out a bit, so don't worry if they do that, if you're checking up on them, that's what they're meant to do. So we'll come back in a minute when they cook. Got the jam in all the buns. I'm going to put them in the oven 180 degrees for 10 minutes. Keep an eye on them just to make sure that when they're golden brown, don't let them burn.